There you go.
Hello, hello, hello.
One up in the director booth. Clear gizmos, thank you. I don't know what that gizmo is, but please clear them.
Goodbye.
Dang. Goodbye, gizmos.
But it is a very nice day today. How are you doing, Prime?
I'm doing great. I just removed my socks. Not stream with socks on.
Oh.
Fun. We're
Wait.
starting the stream off like that.
Yeah, I don't have my socks on either,
we're relaxed.
so I don't blame
Relax. Yeah.
them. Yeah.
No
Yeah,
articles of
that's
clothing
awesome
needed
stream.
when you are doing these kind of streams, because, you know, virtual reality, you just...
We gotta have something on.
Yeah, welcome to the monthly
Alright,
recap stream, you guys. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. Yeah, you're right. You need a fire extinguisher.
Let's get a
Yeah.
close-up on our friends over here, Turk and Probable Prime.
Alright.
Cheese.
Does my mouth move? No, my head is broken.
Indeed,
Why is my head
cheese.
broken?
It's fix your head.
I don't know. It's just...
Fix it.
I'm just on fire. There you go. But my
Okay.
face is...
Oh, sorry, here. Somebody let me know, let me just switch it over. There are so many
Evening.
there are so many overlays on here, it is a bless.
Should be on podcast show or the camera take care of that?
Broadcast I am. Is my mouth moving? My mouth is moving.
My mouth moving. Ah, yes, I can check this way. Yes, it is.
There we go.
Mhm.
Okay. Someone has echo.
Is it me? No.
One,
I'm
two,
on
three.
broadcast. Ping pong?
Someone does.
I don't... Wait, is it on stream or is it here?
I don't know. It sounds like it's.
I got nothing.
Thank you for being
These
on
voices
broadcast.
in your head, Prime. Throws
Rampa.
feathers at Turk. Because reasons you can't explain. Okay, well thank you for the feathers. I'll use them for a pillow. Feather pillows are nice.
I missed my other headphones. Let me unplug this.
There seems to be a little bit of audio feedback from your microphone there, Turk.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, you might wanna increase your noise gate.
One moment. I didn't realize that was me. Apologies.
Yeah,
How
you're
about
fine.
now?
No worries.
Yeah. I don't hear myself now.
We have a question
Turn
of how
down
many
my-
people are on set. I think 1, 2, 3, and then whoever's up there. I think it's just green today.
We have like 1 or 2 extra people around, but it's okay.
Oh, there's 3 people back there. I don't even know who's back there. If
Yeah,
you're back
Wraith
there,
is back there,
thank
Green is
you.
back there, and Frooks is back there.
I forgot about Wraith. I'm so sorry. You poked your head in just before, and I saw you. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for finally coming.
Yeah, thank you for making it. It's good to see you.
Not a fan of broadcast mode. Are we too loud? Here to be in shout.
We are in your head. Do not go and shout. It's much better to have it in broadcast so then you can hear things being said.
This
Sorry,
is
Epic.
how this is of course a broadcast to you guys about Neos.
Mm,
There's still echo
double
from you.
broadcast. There is? The
Yes.
heck? I turned down my threshold. Is it just like my headphones picking up? I'm on index, so...
Turning it down.
I don't know, but if I keep talking and then your mouth moves, so it's got to be you.
Say something?
Hello, Turk. Welcome to the internet. I'm your host, Probable Prime. Okay, I think we
Next.
go.
That was better that time.
Yeah.
I'll just turn down my Neos just to make sure. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I usually turn down you and Nex just a little bit, and that way it avoids any issues.
I
That might help me.
I love when people send me messages and I forget to set myself to busy. Okay, well, you guys can start off the stream now and do your introduction.
Alrighty.
Let's go for it.
Well, Prime, thank you everyone for coming to the monthly recap. We appreciate having you all here. It's been a very, very busy month, filled with a lot of events that we're going to go into a little bit, and we'll explain a little bit later. But yeah, hopefully a lot of the news is stuff you guys are happy for, and yeah. So, Prime, do you want to take off the first one?
Sure, I'll go ahead and take off the first one. Let's go ahead and switch those slides over, which is on me. Hooray. So we got some... really, what was first?
Workshop Wednesday.
All right, yes, Workshop Wednesday. We have a new stream. We've just tried it out on the Wednesday that's just gone. So that was a couple of days ago. Workshop Wednesday is going to be a new stream. We're going to be running at 10 p.m. UTC, 6 p.m. EST, and 3 p.m. PST that talks about various things about sort of how to create stuff. It's a more technical stream. We're not hanging out or actually building stuff. So variable length depending on the project that we're doing, variable complexity depending on the project that we're doing. We're always looking for feedback and suggestions and questions. What do you want to see us build? This week we were just starting off, so we made a which displays the time and has a cool effect on it. I believe Turk's got the clock right there on the side of their table that just showing up the time. It'll show your local time. You can find it in Neos Essentials. And it's really good there. Right at the end of the stream, actually, we had a lot of questions, which were great. We had questions and sort of like other stuff that will inform other Workshop Wednesday streams, and questions that we could just answer then and there that we're really sort of happy to see. Upcoming topics, we've got avatar customization such as snapping, badges, all sorts of stuff like that. When we say snapping, we think things like hats, maybe a gun at your hip, all sorts of cool stuff like that. Maybe an analog clock too. Community suggestions are welcome. Go ahead and submit those to our community feedback form. We'll take a look at those and throw them into the hat for things that we can see on stream. If you want to know something and you want to see it made on Workshop Wednesdays, let us know.
Okay.
That's Workshop Wednesdays.
Let's
head on over to the next one.
Alrighty. With coming up now, we also have something else nice to announce for everyone. We have a Neos developer podcast. It's going to be a new podcast with Frooks that is going to be very more casual and allow Frooks to kind of kick back and have a good time to chat with like people in the community, people he can just play some games with. It's very like a low key type of podcast, just so you guys can just kind of like chill, ask some questions, and it'll be a really nice time because the topics we'll try to cover is like stuff about Neos's past, the present, the future, like some of their experiences through development, and future plans and goals, at least as time kind of goes on, because sometimes it's kind of hard to kind of pull away the curtain and see all the magic that happens in the background. But they're going to be happening Sunday evenings here on Twitch. So if you guys are interested in that podcast, just stay tuned. Yeah.
You'll also see some other games. So,
yes.
Folks will be playing whatever they want.
There will be another game besides Doom, I promise. And Minecraft. Yes. But
we could combine those together. It's probably a mod for Minecraft.
Or maybe a Doom mod? Minecraft Doom?
Yeah. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
All right, moving on next, I guess.
To the next topic.
Yes. So it was Halloween last week. I hope you all had a good Halloween. I usually get to skip that part of Halloween and making a Halloween avatar, because look at me, I'm spooky, I'm scary. I don't need to make a Halloween avatar, but I saw some amazing avatars in the community. There was a lot going on there. We had lots of events. We had a recreation of the metaverse training center that was done by the bunch of people in the community. It's really great, really creepy, lots of stuff to check out there. And it was also Fruxius's birthday, so we had the 3rd annual Fruxius Day, ran by the Creator Jam group. So there's a world there published to the Neos world list called Fruxius Day 3, and there's lots of messages, support, lots of memes there as well. You see lots of sort of bananas and funny stuff going on there. We had a ton of stuff going on there. It's really great that sort of every holiday you can mark it on your calendar and you can see the community just come together and make something creative. I wonder what we'll get for Thanksgiving.
Oh no, I can only wait.
There better be a turkey involved somewhere.
Hopefully. I'm not being the turkey, though. I know I'm Turk, but I'm not turkey.
Cool. I'm gonna hop on.
Alrighty. So, we're kind of finishing up some of the new stuff here. there are some new things that have been added to Neos within the past month that I'm sure many of you will be really happy to know. Now, you can actually use your NCR for something! Yay! But to purchase storage. You'll be able to buy it either for yourself or gift it to others, but it'll be basically like a monthly purchase where I think it's like 0.5 NCR per gigabyte, if I'm correct. Yes, cool.
That's
okay,
correct.
cool. And it'll be basically in a monthly format where you pay per month, I think, for the purchase of the NCR for storage. So, yeah, if you guys are really excited, oh, sorry, go.
You can go from 1 month to 24 months, so you can buy your storage in advance. If you don't pay for it during a month, you get notifications from Neos that it's about to run out, and then it runs out. And do remember, we're never going to delete anything from your account. If you run out of storage space, it just will stop syncing. You won't be able to save anything new, and you can just have a good cleanup and get it back down to the storage that you had prior to paying for it.
But yeah, but that's just a nice addition for everyone who's like, man, I really wish I could buy some storage or give some storage, because I know people have run into that a lot. So it'll be
I've
really
already had
exciting
people
for.
come up to me,
Oh,
and they're like, I now have storage. And I'm like, fantastic. And they say, thank you for asking. I've had like 3 people already say that today, and we launched that very, very short while ago.
no, because I know before a lot of people would just be kind of stuck to the Patreon cycles to actually get their storage. So this is actually a really nice, like, just easy thing that people can use to just have easy storage access now. But yeah, let's go on to the next. We have a bunch of quality life improvements.
Absolutely. Let's kind of take these as we go. I actually
A whole
don't know
bunch.
much about the first one, do you?
Text
check
renderer
that one
wizard
out.
tool. No, actually, it's been a bit for that one. Hey, it's been a busy month. It actually has been a really busy month.
Oh, there's a F mark with, is that 10 or 15? 10 looks like. I can't count that fast.
Thank you for the subs.
Thank you.
Thank you. 10. Thank you for that note. Yes, cool.
Yes.
We've also, I think we'll skip over that one. Apologies, I should have double checked the notes for that one. I think that lets you change the
Likewise.
font and some other properties. Various text renderers within the world. Tutorials, more information coming soon, of course, on that one. We added unit scale to canvases. Do you know about that one? Should I take that one?
Yes, I actually do know that one.
Go for it.
So I think this actually was a request by Earthmark. Next, you're picking up.
Huh?
You're picking up, like, as I'm talking. Thank you. But yeah, this actually was requested by Earthmark, since you just said his name. This is for a unit scale added to canvases, where before to like kind of edit canvases with UIX, it was a little tricky because everything was like 100th of a base scale of 1. So it'd be like 0.001 all the time. But with the unit scale now, you can actually have your UI be scaled within proper proportion. For many of you who don't mess with scale too much, maybe you have like no idea, but it's like, instead of having it like the UI at its base, it would be like super tiny. Now it's actually like the base normal default size, and it's really handy for everyone. Do you know about the next one, Prime, with the new
I
node?
do know about the next one. So we have a general headset node, which provides battery status for our headset users that have batteries. I haven't been on one of those in quite a while, but I imagine that's a point of... Okay, I'm being attacked. Point of concern. Thank you, subscribers. Point of concern for many users is, is my battery running out? So we had nodes and parts that would allow you to see, hey, my controllers are getting low. Maybe I should charge them. Now we have a node that can provide your headset battery status. So you can make some cool UI stuff on your hand, maybe, or stuff even in your dash to basically, like, you might want to go charge your headset up. So do take a look at that. I'm sure that node might get more stuff in time as headsets get cooler and more features are added to Neo. So do check that out.
Alrighty. And then for the next one, this has actually been a very well-weighted one because I know people have been wanting this. Now you can actually delete your cloud variables. Yay! It's actually a really nice time because now people can't just like accidentally make one just to test something, and then it just kind of like, okay, I got a garbage one now. I just can't touch it ever again. So you can actually clear your cloud variables now. You got to send a message to the Neo spot, and it should take about upwards to around minutes for it to work and set up for you. So yeah. Oh, Prime? Did Did we lose Prime?
I thought you weren't done. Oh, this one I can actually talk about because I did this one. I made this one. So we've changed the default behavior. Well, not actually the default behavior. It's an option for the behavior on many tools. So we've got it going on the grabbable stellar tip, the character collider tip, the component clone tip, and many more. Mesh visibility tip is one that also comes to mind due to the use of it. What it allows you to do is switch between two modes, one which will apply the operation, the grabbable or the collider operation, to the root of an object, and one which will apply it just to the object that you shoot at. This is great when you import like a large scene. Like imagine importing an entire grocery store or an entire building. In some cases, if you shot the grabbable stellar tip on like a small part of that building, let's say a coffee mug like the one here on my desk, it would make the entire building grabbable. You just change that mode and it'll apply just to the hit object. That lets you sort of run around and be like, that should be grabbable, that shouldn't be grabbable, without affecting the entire set. Same with character colliders there. You don't want to shoot the floor of your building and find out that you've made all the doors and windows that are open are suddenly character colliders and you can't walk through them.
I'm so happy we had that added, because honestly, it makes some rooms not a minefield for character colliders, because you just everything is bumpy. Everything is bumpy.
I'm also going to talk about the next one because I also did that one.
No. I was waiting for you to take that one because, like, honestly, I was like, no, this is yours. You were so happy about this.
It's okay. A tiny bit small of a slide, and I'm struggling to read it just a little bit. We'll get there. So we had to take a big giant ruler and get it into VR. It took a long time. Line it up on the inspectors, and then with it lined up on the inspectors, I was able to now finally sort out the field alignment. So it's a tiny thing that you might not have noticed, but for those who are like really keen to details, and for those who are sort of grabbing fields and dropping them between fields in inspectors, you might have noticed that we had a small misalignment on things. I believe we've got a picture up here of the sort of before and after, with the before on the left and the after on the right here, but it basically means everything's lined up. So like X runs straight down the middle for rotation, scale, and position. Y runs straight down the middle. They're all lined up. Before, they were just ever so slightly misaligned, and that alignment would get worse for things like rotation values or our matrix values. They would get all sorts of like weirdly aligned. Those are all fixed now. We've got everything aligned. If you see any more misalignment, do let me know. I can go ahead and get that giant ruler out and get it fixed in the inspector.
Okay. I'm sure people are really happy, because I know some members of the community really like their properly straight lines, and just having it ever so slightly be off is just like, So I'm sure people are really happy with that change.
There are small tweaks we can make to the existing inspectors. Do note that we are completely reworking the inspectors as part of our UI rework roadmap. You can check that out on our GitHub, and you can see what's going on there.
Cool. And last little. Oh, sorry. Did you want to take that one too?
Sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. No, this is your time to shine. A lot of these were actually ones that you added too. So thank you for adding them, by the way.
They were. There's also, it lets me know, I know exactly what I did there as well. So we had a couple of things that were just sort of left over from the permission system being integrated that weren't covered, including the avatar creator. You used to be able to spawn that if you were a guest, and that caused problems where someone might come into your world and accidentally turn, again, the entire grocery store building map that you're running into an avatar, which is always like, it's not their fault. Sometimes it was new users not understanding how the avatar created, or sometimes just accidental. So now if you're a guest, you can't go ahead and spawn that avatar creator. You also can't grab or mess with the avatar creator when it's out in the world if you're not a builder, which means that someone can't fly by and accidentally maybe push the wrong button on your avatar creator. That's happened in some cases. Same there goes for public folders. We had a couple of cases of people sort of going into worlds where they didn't have permissions and spawning lots of public folders as sort of like, haha, I can spawn public folders, and they sort of use them like confetti or like a big streamer of public folders across the map. That's now fixed as well. There was also a report of camera photos being spawned without spawn permissions. That's was fixed a while ago, but we double checked that one with these fixes. That's all fixed up there. If you notice any other stuff that you think you shouldn't be able to use or spawn or touch as a guest, please do let us know. Again, we do have an item on our roadmap to take a better look at permissions, add more features to permissions, but small tweaks and fixes like that, we still want to know. Go ahead, fill in that feedback on the GitHub, and we'll get to it as soon as we can.
Well, thank you. The thrilling explanation, Prime. I'm really happy that we have these now, because I know literally seeing people spawn full body calibrators and avatar creators sometimes just like maddening. I'm like, no, you don't. Yeah,
it's just little fixes, keep things under control.
Do you want to take one or two questions from chat while we have some time?
That was a lot of information, so yeah, we should pause and take a look for questions. I see a few questions that are relevant to the cloud variable deletion. So I'm going to go ahead and jump around a little bit, if that's okay. We have from Arky, we have how many minutes for our deletion? I believe that's up to 30 minutes it'll take to delete. The reason for that is because when you delete the variable, it has to go through the database and delete every single value for that. So let's imagine you've got 100 people with that value. You got to go through and delete all those 100 values and then purge all the caches. If we're not familiar with what cache is, it's just like quick access list to sort of get at that variable a bit faster. So that's what that time therefore is. There was also a question on the inspectors. So that you mean inspectors won't look like a Windows 98 computer that has turned yellow with age anymore? They still will look like that. We are working on a full inspector rework that you can take a look at on our UI rework roadmap. This is just mild tweaks and fixes just to make things a little bit easier to use whilst we're working on that. It was a long-standing issue and was quite easy to fix, so we went ahead and got that sorted. Thank you for that question. I think that's all we've got. We do have some questions at the top there, which is how's the user base growing? I think we'll kind of save that one for the Q&A and just keep that sort of together with the Q&A town hall at the end of the stream, just to keep questions relevant to the slides that we've got going here.
For sure, because and by the way, if you ask your questions, make sure you do ask them, because we do keep a list of them, and we will answer them later on during the stream when we get the opportunity to. The town hall Q&A.
Make sure they have a question mark on the end. They'll be flagged up on our tool. If you don't add a question mark, we might miss it. Just with chat flowing by so quickly. All right. Thank you.
But yeah, alrighty. Well, do you want to hop onto the next slide then, Prime? Let me take this one if you're okay with that.
Yeah, go for it. I've been talking for a while. You go ahead.
Alrighty. So, recently with some other big changes that we've had in Neos, we upgraded our library LNL protocol. Our Light Night library got a nice big upgrade. I think what was maybe 2-3 years since it was last upgraded. So there was a lot of new additions that got added. Some of the things that got added were increased retention of packets and other network operations, which allows us to just kind of not have packets drop as much as they used to anymore. One of the big things that got added with the new library also was the ability to merge smaller packets into bigger ones. I know a lot of Australian users are really happy to get this, because a lot of Australian users would tend to have something above head just to so they are desynced. So I saw literally about 3 or 4 different occasions where oh my god, you're synced. How is this happening? So it's really nice for those of you who tend to have really shaky connections or just kind of long distances. So if you had network issues before with the Neos, give it another try and see how it helps you out. And also, with this, we now have queued messages now as a Logix node. What this means is if you are queuing up in a session, and this Logix node will display how much in terms of packets you're behind. Packets kind of work in the sense of you send information to people and they come in the form of packets. Think of it as sending a bunch of little mail packets to people. So by doing this now, you will be able to see how much in terms of a rate or how much information has been sent to the host. So it's really handy. I know a lot of people have been using this, and it's been allowing just a general overall workflow for people, because now it's hey, you're not lagging. Oh, I don't have to talk for 5 minutes and then have to say it again. So it's a really nice improvement. Another big thing on the back end that really improved was we had a CDN update where we switched over from Azure to Cloudflare. This allowed a lot for a lot more optimizations for internal infrastructure for the team. It made it a bit easier. I know we had a few issues at the start of the month with the switchover, but that tends to happen with a lot of changeovers like that. But if you still have issues, please do let us know and make GitHubs for them. But by switching over, we're able to scale better, control, and the cost is a lot better for us as well. So
absolutely. If any of that was too technical, just know that we've got better, more optimized, more stable networking going sort of across the board. That's both in asset download and in you talking to other people and interacting and collaborating them within Neos.
I try to give you an easy explanation. Even sometimes it's a bit tricky unless you actually are really into the in-depth of it. So
you did good about that. If you've got any other questions on that one, do feel free to take it to other sources, provide feedback to us, open up a GitHub if you're still encountering issues. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. All right, well, let's go on to the next slide. Off to you, Prime.
Oh, if I have lasers on, that would be great. Oh, you got it perfectly. Yep. So we now have a command which allows you to opt out of receiving NCR. This sort of is an expansion from our previous command, which allowed you to opt out of KFC, our fake testing currency. NCR opt-out will allow you to opt out of NCR. This prevents all sorts of transaction of NCR into your account. So it prevents you from receiving NCR from your Patreon minting each month, and also prevents people from you NCR or sending you NCR. All financial investments still go to the team, and all other Patreon rewards are intact. It's just the NCR that is not sent to you. If you'd like to do this, you can go ahead and just type that NCR opt-out command straight into the Neos user within your contacts, and it'll get sorted. If you have questions about that, you can see the Neos bot article on our wiki, or go ahead and ask in our Discord, or take a look.
Mm-hmm.
Just providing more options for you, depending on what you'd like to.
No, totally. I know people have been asking this for a little bit too, so I really hope this does make people who do want that option really happy.
Absolutely. I just want to pause for questions. We had a few on the previous two slides, and they won't make sense later. So Earthmark asks, has the cloud variable update rate being affected? Not to my knowledge. We're still waiting on some SignalR improvements there to the cloud variable stuff, which allows us to sort of sync them more optimally. There's a comment there on university filters. Actually, do check out our networking information article on the wiki. A community member has just updated that with a lot of information about NAT translation and router configuration that could help you make your Neos experience better. So if you're struggling with sort of network firewalls or anything like that, there may be some information for you on that wiki page now. I was excited to see that. That is too small to read.
Do you want to make it bigger?
Oh, that's that one. That's that one. That right there.
Yep.
Earthmark says it's been brought up in the past that a node for queued packets, I presume, won't be added because it might eventually get deprecated. Does this mean that node has a deprecation plan if its usage isn't useful in the future? Yes, if we remove it in the future, we will let you know. I know we've had a couple of sort of weird issues in that round. We'll do a better job going forward, trying to make sure that you know if things are changing. As we've upgraded to the latest lib, it was easier to surface that detail for you, and easier to surface that data straight to you in the form of a node. Do you want to take a few questions, or are you happy to continue going through?
No, I you were going on. I was like, I can pick up a few if you're okay with it. From Jax here, is NCR opt-on by default? Do you mean opt-out or opt-on? I'm going to go by the question. So NCR is typically automatically on as a default, but you as a user can default it off if you would like. With how the system works, I would think having it default to opt-off wouldn't make too much sense. So I figure, and this is largely if you do not want to interact with NCR or KFC in any way too. So this is only an option if you do not just want to participate in that system at all. But hopefully that answers your question. If that was wrong, please ask again. From Epic Easton, what happens if you remove Neos as a contact? Everything blows up. Like everything like I blow up, Prime blows up, Next blow, like everything kabooms. Don't do it. Neospot is your friend. Don't be mean to the Neospot. Neospot deals with a lot of stuff.
I actually don't think you can. That's a utility bot. There's a lot of functionality included there that we would like to make into UI in the future, but it's there as commands right now. For example, cloud variables. Mm-hmm. If you were able to remove, then you wouldn't be able to make cloud variables or anything like that. Mm-hmm. You can't, so you can't do it. Director Booth is telling us that you can't remove it as a contact right now. It does a lot of stuff for you.
It's actually blocked at the AI level. That's actually a really nice thing to know. So yeah, the Neospot will always be your friend. Always. Wow. That friend will always be there for you. What? I mean, everyone wants a friend, right?
Just the way you said that, though.
Yeah.
They'll always be your friend.
Yeah.
I'll be here to give you the Neos update commands whenever they come.
We haven't seen any fan art of Neospot yet. I'm sure we will.
We need some fan art of Neospot.
We don't want Neospot to have the same kind of vibes like, other certain companies.
Oh, looks like Jack's actually re-added on his question. What he means is NCR interaction is on by opted in by default, as in none of us will suddenly not receive NCR if we don't touch anything. Yes, so meaning that basically expect it as normal as it used to before the opt-out was added, and it's only there for those who do not want to participate. So if you do not want to participate, you send that command, you are now out of that ecosystem.
Much like a lot of the changes this month, if you do nothing, nothing happens. Everything is just normal.
Pretty much, yeah. So, but hopefully that answers your question. If not, ask again and we'll pick up later at the Town Hall Q&A. And Renari, for your question, we will answer that one, but a little bit later once we get the opportunity to.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. Well, let's. Do you want to hop on back to the next topic?
Hell yeah, let's go ahead and go for it.
Alrighty.
Oh, yes.
Just here. Nice little
Alrighty.
thing here.
I forgot we had a picture for that
We
one.
got
Yeah. So we made some updates to the world browser towards the sort of start of the month, and this was in part to sort of help the MMC and to help you guys know if you've been to a world or not. So if you've been to a world before, there's this now like visited icon that will appear in the bottom left hand corner of the thumbnail of a world, and that lets you know, hey, you've been here before. It's great if you want to check out any new content, or if you're unsure if you've been there. It just says visited in the bottom corner there. Lets you know that you've got new content to check out. Quite a simple update, but quite appreciated. I sometimes go through those worlds. The team go through those worlds looking to see if they've got new stuff to look at. Maybe we've got new stuff to consider featuring or stuff like that.
And it's definitely helped me a bunch too, because it just lets me know, like, hey, I haven't been here, cool. But let me get
Absolutely.
a little bit close preview for people to see here. You see how in the top there is no visited moniker, but then at the bottom here you can kind of see it.
You have it
So hopefully that
backwards.
gives you. Oh, well, here you go.
Visited there on the MMC traffic system. There you go.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions with that, feel free to let us know. But it's pretty simple, you know. It's like hey, you did the thing, I did the thing, yay.
Woot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's hop on.
Alrighty. Alright, next up in the wonderful addition to the Neos this month, we actually had some improvements for Collider setup that I know a lot of people have been really wanting this for some time. Colliders now have a debug button, so if you were ever just trying to set up a collider and you're like, man, I really wish I could just look at it real quick, instead of having to actually set up your own debug colliders like a madman, you now can just click a button and it just appears. So it makes it really easy when you're trying to do some interaction to interaction, like say, I want to see this sphere, I want to see this box, I want to see when they're touching or when I'm actually changing the size for it. So it is really handy and helpful. Another addition alongside with that is now mesh colliders can be quick converted into box colliders. Trying to do this previously was a little bit of a chore. You'd have to like set up a mesh collider and then do a box collider above it or near it and then like set the local... It's just a button now, and it's a lot easier. It's not like about like 10 or 7 different clicks, so it just really makes your workflows in here a lot more faster too. But yeah. Oh, we got a note from the director's box here. I thought I might have mentioned this, but the sphere, capsule, and cylinder colliders each have their own visual. So this means that it's not just boxes, it's not just one of them, but they each have their own algorithm for auto-computing the visual itself. So if you're changing size on the fly, it should be able to do it as such.
Director Box, please keep your notes short. That was like...
Yes.
That was larger than that Welsh train station where they had to make the sign really big. We have some questions on that one from the chat.
Oh, not the visual, the
Auto size.
the auto size.
Yes.
The auto size. Okay. Apologies on that. Thank you, Director's Box. Praise be.
Oh
but,
dear, I almost lost my face there.
Oh my. But yeah, with the collider setup improvements, it's really helpful for those of you working throughout things in the community, and hopefully it's a really nice boon to a lot of people's workflows. But alrighty.
We got a couple of questions.
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's get a couple if you want. Alrighty.
Sure. So.
Oh, okay. From Rusio Dong, is there any way to convert mesh to box colliders from logics? I don't necessarily know. I'm not sure if the button is exposed to actually impulse in any way. Because I think normally with that one, I don't If you want to do it on the fly logics, I think you could with some pre-setup, but I don't think the impulse. Oh, you can? Impulse?
Most components that have those white buttons at the bottom have impulses. You could be looking at adding them wherever they're not there. If you have a need for them, go ahead and open up that GitHub and take a look. But that would be the way to do it. Additionally, the Bake Meshes logics node has the option to sort of add, remove colliders, add, remove grabbables based on it being there.
Yeah, because I noticed with a lot of the impulse access for a lot of the components and stuff, like they're not always there. That's why I was trying to go off by memory and see. Like, I don't think we have them yet, but it does need to be added. Coming from the director's box about that. So thank you. But next question from Fuzzy Fox: will Turk soon have swappable faces? And will we have swappable faces anytime soon? Oh, okay. I was gonna like, I mean, I won't stop you, Prime, if you really want to, but I mean, I trust you with my face.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the lore of this avatar is that the face is the avatar, and the clothing just exists, right? It wouldn't be swappable faces. I'd be giving you my avatar.
Oh, I mean, I take off my face, and people are like, "Oh, it's Turk," and I'm like, "What is all this?" So,
Well,
but thank you for that question. Much love. From Snooper. Actually, I'll let you take this one, Prime, because the next topic I actually want to try and grab. So,
go for it. No worries. Does the mesh to box collider setup make multiple box colliders, or is it just one? No, it's just one. It's just one box collider. Kind of sort of estimates the sort of bounds of the model and makes box collider for it. If you're looking for a more accurate representation of a collider from a mesh collider, you need to use convex hull decomposition. That would actually probably be a good topic for Workshop Wednesday, so drop in a feedback form if you'd like to see that one. That takes it and it translates it into a series of colliders that sort of approximate the shape. I know it's incredibly tiny here, but this cat has convex hull colliders on it in the form of a sort of suit of armor made out of bread. It's a long story. So do let us know if you'd like to see that at the next Workshop Wednesday.
You just put bread on your cat for armor?
It was this entire table is memes.
Oh, I know. The question had to be asked. The question had to be asked. Let's see. Do we have any other questions left? Another one from Rusio Dunk. I'll let you take this, Prime. I'm gonna save my gab for later.
Can we?
Wait. Commands. What? Commands need to be off.
No, come on, please. I'm trying to explain I'm trying to explain complex box colliders, and bees are attacking me. Oh. Okay, so Rusio's question. This is really helpful, but Snooper's question is actually a really good one. Today, I generate box colliders with bounding box, but that forces a direction. Does the mesh to box convert optimally? It'll convert optimally as best as it can. If there are any tweaks or changes that you need to that, please go ahead and open up a GitHub. And if you do that, give us an example mesh or example problem. You also provide the direction to that process so it knows which direction can happen.
We are free of bees.
That length that last director note box was, the top one there, is about the length that we can read. So if you keep it to that length, great. Also remember to use line breaks, and that might help. Strange that I'm sort of breaking the fifth wall, I guess, by talking up to the directors, but cool. I think that's all the questions on this topic. Let's move on.
Alrighty,
we'll leave the bees behind us.
All right. Well, let me hop on to the next one. This one is a near
professional. I love you all.
Oh, thank you. We try. We really do try.
We try.
But now I took off his face. But this one is near and dear to my heart. So we have a new mentor application for those of you in the community who have been wanting to become mentors. Also expanding the program so that we can accommodate for more mentors. If you want to be a part of the community of Neos helpers, just put in an application. We updated the wiki page, so I'll send you that way if you guys are actually interested in reading up on some of the changes that we did for the program to actually make it so we can accommodate more people over time. If you want to be a mentor, usually it's something I always recommend to people because it will improve your knowledge on Neos and it will help the community in so many ways than you can think. Like, you are often that one person that introduces people to the platform and make wonderful memories with people. So anybody who's a mentor out there doing and just making sure people are having a good time, like, wholeheartedly appreciate all of you. You make what Neos is awesome. So, and there's also a new onboarding and vetting process for the entire situation too. With a lot of before, it was largely a situation where it was come as with a lot of it. So now it's a lot more rigid and a lot more easier for people to get on, but it's also a lot more thorough for what we want mentors to be too. But yeah, if you guys are interested in being mentors or you have any questions, ask us later during the town hall Q&A. But apply. Like seriously, if you want to be a mentor, apply. We would always appreciate anyone who wants to help out with Neos and just, just enrich the community. I mean, I'm a mentor, Prime's a mentor. There's others in the director's box that are mentors. So it's just honestly the thing for these type of communities where it's everyone working together. It's not just one of us.
Great to see those updates. Always great to see mentors. I love sort of dropping into MTCs and seeing them help out. People also sometimes surprised when they come and find me and I'm like, sure, let's help out. There are times where I'm tired and I don't want to help out, which brings us on to our next slide, I guess.
Yeah.
So on the next slide here, we have actually created, it's inside Neos Essentials, there is now a team contact panel, which I believe Turk is modeling for us.
Let me bring this a bit closer. You know what? This is our friend now. This is a very important friend for all of us.
Very important, friend. So this has basically all the ways which you can contact us and the various reasons that you might contact us. Next to the item is the logo, which is the platform that we use for that contact. If you're on Twitch watching us now, you're actually using the bottom one here, which is our Twitch streams. That links straight to our Twitch channel where you're seeing this stream here. We've got feature requests, bug reports, security issues, moderation reports, anonymous feedback, ask us questions. Everything's there. The links are right there. It's in Neos Essentials. You'll see it spawned in worlds, which I host, particularly later on in the evening where I'm sort of reclined in my chair half asleep. Go ahead, get those done. We'll get it back to you as soon as we can with various items on here. Do remember as well, if you can't something that fits here, go ahead and drop it into the feedback form here. We'll take anything sort of weird, unusual, can go straight into that feedback form. We want to hear from you. Here are all the available ways that you can hear from us.
That's a quality essential item.
I strongly recommend this too if you guys want to ask official questions or get like official answers to things, because a lot of the times it happens, people will like run up to Prime or Nex or me in the world just for like asking. Like for me, it's like moderation. For Prime, it's like with like development and programming. With Nex, it's like stuff relating to production. So it's really nice to use these official lanes of information to actually contact the team, because it just makes it a lot more efficient for everyone and saves everyone a lot of time. Yep. Because like Prime, I could ask you, what kind of cheese do you like? You're gonna forget and not actually tell me. Like, or like, I really need cheese in Neos, or like, I really need like this cheese node in Neos, and you're gonna forget. You're gonna forget. But if this is actually written down, you will remember and you will add that cheese node, or at least you make a GitHub for it.
You wanted a cheese node?
Oh no.
I can't make it grabbable, so it's going to have to stay there. It's right here. You can get it after the stream.
That's okay. Okay, it's okay.
You can get it after the stream.
This wonderful friend is now going back down.
Nice extras.
Bye, friend. Yes, we've actually got another item, which is there is a standalone tool to implement, import and synchronize Minecraft worlds. A while ago, we added the functionality to import Minecraft worlds into Neos. We saw a lot of fun with that. Sometimes people took their Minecraft creations and synchronized them into Minecraft. We had someone sort of server that they were running, and they just sort of brought it in, and then they could go over and explore it and be like, oh yeah, here's where I died last when I mined down, like you should never do. Or here's where a creeper got me, and they could just see that inside Neos and then make like little homages to what happened and stuff like that. So there's now a standalone tool to do that. For larger maps, that took a while, so we've created a standalone tool that allows you to import those without having Neos running. It's a lot simpler as well. It's also open source, so we're experimenting with sort of more open source components of Neos, not Neos itself, just components. So you can go ahead and find that on GitHub. I believe it was like 100 lines of code, so really simple. It's great when things line up like that, you know, like the stars align and you're like, standalone Minecraft importing tool.
It was a really nice addition too, because I think after they got added, like as a external tool, I thought about like 2 or 3 more extra Minecraft worlds pop up in the published world. So it's really nice to kind of see people just like, you know, I'm gonna go play this, build this, and then just bring their content over.
Absolutely.
But alrighty. And for then for the next topic that's up on the slide here, we now have a Neos standalone launcher. This month has been definitely a very interesting one for us, but we now have links on the Neos website, the wiki, and the Discord for those of you who want to just download Neos and just have it work without Steam. This is a temporary placeholder. Now, so don't expect it to be like all bells and whistles and give us like, hey, this thing really is kind of poopy. We know it's temporary. It's not going to be there forever. Because we're waiting currently for our Neoscene launcher. More information on the roadmaps for more details about that. Mm-hmm. But generally, Neoscene will be a launcher that will allow us to do stuff like, stuff like testing. It'll allow programmers to just do better build updates. Change logs will be a lot easier, and it's just a better workflow for the team overall once that actually comes out. So we're really excited and waiting for that too. But the main point that I almost forgot actually here is that it is educational and for professional use too, because it won't just be the main Neos build. We have educational Neos builds out there. We have professional Neos builds out there. Sometimes people have products they want to show. It's a thing. Neos is used for multiple things within the internet and the world, so it's really helpful that we now have multiple builds for it. But yeah, and then now, are you ready for this topic, Prime?
We have a quick question which you can take in mind. We do, yeah. Sure. So the question is from Fuzzy, who asks, does the Minecraft importer tool support modded Minecraft? No, not yet. The reason behind that is modded Minecraft adds like thousands of blocks, thousands of textures, and we can't support the conversion of all of those. Particularly if you think of the mods which add pipes and stuff, that's complicated. We need to kind of convert all that geometry into Neos geometry, and we just like don't know what it looks like. Mods are different. Do stand by and take a look at that. If you're interested in that, do go ahead, check out that in the tool as it's open source. Maybe you could add it yourself. Or if not, go ahead, open up a GitHub issue and we'll take a look at it.
And now for the wonderful topic I think many of us have been waiting for, and just the overall craziness this month has been. NCR, Steam, and Neos.
That's a stream.
Recently, that's the wait, what?
It says stream, not Steam, but just throwing that out there.
Wait, it does? Oh no.
But I guess it was meant to say Steam. All good.
Oh, we even got an updated thing. That's awesome. Cool. Because we actually see. Here's the thing. Today we actually found out we are back on Steam. So for those of you who weren't in the loop and didn't know, congratulations, we did it. We're back on Steam, everyone. Woo! But before this update, and as we were preparing for everything, we didn't know what was happening. We didn't know what was going on. We were so uncertain. So we had the slide prepared in a sense to kind of explain what the events of this month had been going on, and just kind of give you guys a download of what we know, what may happen, and where things go. But we're not removed from Steam anymore. But as a result, we now have the standalone launcher, where now all Steam builds from now on will have no mention of NCR or KFC interactions. If you want to have those, please use the standalone launcher. Apologies, but that is what is required by Steam at this point in time.
Your existing
Snooper, thank you for
NCR
those gifted subs, 20 gifted subs from Snooper. Thank you so much for that.
Wow, 20. That's a lot.
Thank you, Snooper.
So it's very important to note as well that your existing NCR, CDFT, KFC, it's not affected. We're not taking it from you, not stealing it from you. Same goes to Patreon Mint. Everything just goes by as normal. It just does not exist if you're not on that standalone build from the Neos launcher. So everything's safe. We're not stealing anything from you. It's all safe. Patreon rewards will continue as normal.
Yeah,
I think that's it for our slides.
Yeah, pretty much, because everything is pretty much business as normal. It's just if you want access to those, you're going to have to use the standalone builds for the time in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But we can take any questions now if you want to, and just kind of switch over to Town Hall Q&A format if everyone's willing and ready. Right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. If you're good, let's go ahead.
Cool. But yeah.
Thank you both of you.
But yeah, throw your... No problem. But thank you all for coming to the stream too, because it's been like today we honestly thought it was a bit of a more stressful one with the slide. So the fact that we got this information today, everyone was slipping out. So it was a really nice day. But let's get some of the questions here for everyone, just so we can see.
That
we still
wasn't.
can.
I mean, we can if we'd like to.
Yeah. Well, originally
know
we
that was a
actually
good
had
one.
planned. No, we still can if you want. Yeah, let's go. Well, we're gonna go over there to actually talk to Frooks about this topic too, because it's definitely been a bit of a month, and I feel like actually talking about a lot of these topics would be really helpful too.
Are we going to the
Okay.
couch?
Yep.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Frogs grumble.
Hello, Frooks. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Sleep.
Sleepy? I don't blame you. It's definitely been a day. It's definitely been a day. Let
a
me
day.
actually
Some coffee for you.
one moment here. Need to bring the questions over here so I can see.
Oh, yeah, that might help actually.
Yeah. Just so we can see here. Apologies, I meant to grab this a bit more fluid, but doesn't always happen that way.
Oh, I don't have a hand right now. Now I have a hand. It's good when you have hands. You can do things with your hands.
Mm,
Yes.
Oh, I am confusion. Okay, there we go. Oh.
when it disappears, it's just more so everyone adjusting it. So, but
Cool.
yeah. Alrighty. But alright, so originally, Frooks, we planned this talk to be a nice, like, a bit of a, oh no, we gotta talk about what happened this month, you know? But it's a bit of more of a happy day, so it's a bit of a relief, honestly. Do you wanna at least explain what kind of happened this month and like everything that's been going on?
Oh. Well, it's been like kind of like busy month, like with everything, you know, like we're kind of started like with us like me, Prime, Adra, Canadian Git, and like I guess like Judge, like we're like going through all the MMC stuff and everything, you know, like going through every single like experience, like every single thing that people have submitted.
Mm-hmm.
Judging everything, which was really difficult. Then like we had a BLFC event again, like that was pretty busy as well, you know, because there was like both the physical event and we had a virtual one going at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And just like last week, like we were unfortunately like temporarily removed from the Steam. We had to like make like the separate version of like Neos and to kind of like comply with the Steam rules and then like push it to the Steam and contact Valve like saying like we did the changes like they requested and pretty much like this Friday like they reinstated us back again, but it's kind of like pushing up the timeline a bit on the custom like updater, like so we have like a little bit more control over like what we put like into the build, and it's been something that's been coming for a long while. Like we had a lot of like pressures like from lots of different sources to kind of like implement it. Like we needed it for like, you know, like businesses and universities who are using Neos. Like they generally don't want to use Steam. And we actually had like the launcher we like use right now. It's a very rudimentary launcher we used for them. So we cannot repurpose it, but it's because it's so rudimentary, it's very tedious to update. It's like kind of hard to push updates to it. Doesn't have much functionality, but it works for what it does. But they pretty much like needed something like a little bit more like robust. We have like companies that are like using this for like training, and they also kind of like need it, you know, custom launcher. Like we have actually one of the scientists, like in university teachers, has been like with Neos pretty much since the beginning. He's called Peter Clown. He goes by Peck. He's now doing his 5th semester, like teaching virtual reality using Neos itself. And they finally actually have like a virtual reality lab as well. So like the students, like the lesson was earlier today. The students are actually like learning like how to like build and how to use virtual reality with Neos. But again, also like the university, they don't want to use Steam, so like it's something like they need, you know, they need to use Steam. And we have like the internal like needs because like we are scaling up the team because we have like a Prime, we have a Gains, like contributing to the code, working on like features in parallel, and just doing things like around it. Like we need to make it easier to accommodate for that workflow. And right now, like the only person who can actually push new builds is me. So like everything kind of has to like go through that, and just it makes things difficult. Like for example, Keynes is like testing the color management update, and you have to kind of zip up the builds and upload them to the channel, and it's very tedious process. Plus we need it for well, pressure, like, you know, like Shift is like been putting together a QC team and like people who help like you know, test any features, test like any big additions, and sometimes like, you know, like regressions happen, like we push an update that breaks something, and it's often very like important to like find which build exactly broke it. That way like we can narrow it down to like a particle change, and it pretty much like makes it much easier to fix, because like we know we can pinpoint a specific place, a specific change in the code that caused something to break. But with Steam, there's not an easy way to kind of like downgrade to a particle build, so like we kind of need a system for managing that. As well, a bunch of few others as well, but like there's pretty much been like bunch of different, like, you know, like pressures from different sides to kind of like do this custom system for like updating and managing builds, and pretty much like this you know, the change in rules like on Steam has it has pretty much made it a priority, so like that we kind of started like pushing that a lot more.
Well, cool. Thank you for explaining with this month, because a lot of us, like, I think before today, thought we had to kind of explain like where we're kind of going with everything, but now that we're back on Steam, seems like the priority is still on having a launcher for us, to not just for like, hey, we need something to update people's Steam, updates people's Neoses, but more just for the fact that you guys need it for development, for schools, for professional use. So I'm sure people are going to look really forward to that, because it'll make it a lot faster and easier for everyone.
Yeah, going forward with our new Neos launcher is going to be so impactful for getting us on many other platforms and just spreading Neos.
It's gonna make it like easier, like as well, because like anytime I like push like build, there's like a bunch of like manual steps, you know. I have to compile it like release notes and like post them in different places, mainly like mostly on the Discord and the you know, the Steam announcements. There's also like you know, like all the GitHub issues, like they have to be closed, so I have to like go through every single one and right there like we're closing this one, and this like system like it's been kind of designed to kind of like automate all of that, and also make it easier to like, you know, to expand, because even like with the Steam thing, like people started asking, can Neos be distributed like on like package managers like Chocolately, or can it be distributed on HIO and maybe like lots of different like sources. And we do have like our own kind of centralized system where we push all the changes, we can automate it. So like we just push the build like to Neos scene, and then we have like a script that like uploads it to Steam, it uploads it to like whatever other like you know, like I mentioned, HIO, Chocolately, Linux like package managers for the headless, like it just like does everything. It posts the update notes, maybe even like tweets like on new Neos bit has been released, and just like makes everything kind of like work like a clockwork, instead of like us having to do every bit like manually.
Okay. Prime, did you have any questions at all?
No, I didn't have any questions. I think that's explained. So as these things, you know, get adjusted, we'll get more information from you as they happen. I'm excited by it. I'm excited to see what's going on there. I'm excited by the educational and business aspects as well. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
I think it would be appropriate
like,
at this stream to probably start taking people's questions here inside of the chat, though. I think that would be
absolutely.
Yeah, we were actually gonna switch direction after we just kind of talked to Fruits a little bit about the events of this month. But yeah,
there's also been like.
So you got any questions?
One thing I wanted to like mention is like a part of like the updates, like we've also done this month, you know, for example, upgrading the Lightnet lib. We also updated a bunch of like other libraries like CS Core and some others. It's been kind of like part of this like effort, like, you know, like moving everything to the cloud, making more automated, making like the collaboration with like other team members, like contributing to Neos easier. And it's kind of like gives these like benefits because we can we use that as an opportunity to kind of look at like the dependencies and see like can we actually upgrade this, can we bring this up to date. So it's kind of like brought like a bunch of like improvements like on the side as we go as well.
Okay, cool. But
Thank you.
let's actually switch over to the town hall Q&A. Chat, if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask us. We'll try to answer any of that best that we can.
Anything and everything except questions about cheese. No.
Oh my. From Easton here, would this allow us to download alpha builds of Neos? Ryan, would you want to comment on that one?
Yeah,
Sure. So that's not a priority right now. We want to go ahead and get Neosine working for future-looking changes, not for past changes. Sometimes alpha builds are not going to be compatible with our current infrastructure, for example, our cloud-based libraries and stuff like that. We might look at it in the future, but like our priority is getting new builds, new systems out there as soon as possible. The historic build should be the least of your concern right now.
Yeah, but it is
I don't want to like push the old builds.
There will be that, right?
I don't want to like push like the old builds like into the system, just at very least so we also have the history of like everything that's gonna change. But yeah, like Prime said, like all of the older builds they won't necessarily work, right? So the main goal is like having the future builds with there, because we don't right now we don't really spend too much resources making sure that old builds gonna keep working. We always assume just beyond the newer builds.
I think what really people are, they're going to dive in with a realm of curiosity, and then they're going to be inside there and realize, oh wow, this is really bad, and then they're only going to spend 15 minutes inside of it, and then they're going to be like, well, there goes my curiosity, because now I know what it's like, and it was pretty bad, to say the least. And yeah, now
if you want to see,
well, we want the future.
If you want to see old Neo stuff, you can go ahead and take a look at really old videos on Frixius' YouTube channel. He's got a lot there. There's some really exciting ones there. Some dancing, maybe some particles and stuff like that. There's also a mouse if you go back far enough.
Mouse 8? Mouse 8.
It only goes up to 7.
Oh.
Yeah, which is why the joke is what mouse 8 when, because there is only up to 7.
Yeah, so take a look at that. Also, not briefly, there's older tutorials as well. So older tutorials are sometimes they're out of date. They've got your old UI on them, but they do let you have a snapshot of what Neos was back then. Particularly some of my old ones, I've got the old lasers, the old context menu, the old dash, my old face, my old badges. Whatever you want to see that's old, there's probably footage out there for you.
Yeah, so we have a question here from Rusio. It says, thank you for your hard work, Fruks and team. Great to hear that Neos is back on Steam. Would bringing a marketplace to Neos be something that would have to be kept off of the Steam build? Good question.
I don't know if we can actually answer that one right now. That might be something that might be one we have to wait to the future. And then once maybe the team has
Yeah, essentially, our plan is always, whenever we publish on some platforms, we make sure that, we comply with, the rules of the platform and try to, use, its native system. So, it is... The tentative kind of, a plan is, we actually utilize, because Steam, they have, a system for, transactions and so on. So, we're probably gonna incorporate that. But any kind of details, we'll have to figure that out. So it's a little bit too early to kind of go into
good question, but I just don't think we can answer that right now until time tells and once we get to that point. But thank you. Go back to some of the earlier questions we had within the stream. From Fuzzy, do you have to reinstall to use the launcher? As far as I'm aware, no, I don't think you do.
No, it installs a separate copy of Neos. So prior to the temporary launcher being available, we had just one build that's available. You can go ahead and delete that one now because we've got the launcher. What the launcher does is it maintains a file structure that's got the latest build, and it will keep it up to date for you, a little bit like Steam. But you don't have to reinstall that. You just have to download the launcher, launch it, and it'll keep those files in sync for you. You can also add that game as a non-Steam game thing, and then it'll track your hours there as well, as I know it's important to some people. You don't have to reinstall the Steam build. That'll keep up to date now. That'll be sort of business as usual.
I
think that gets 2 questions off a list.
It does.
Yep.
And actually, Nuzzle Easton had another one of that. Cool. There's a really tiny one here. Tina. No, that is not a question. That is someone having a big text post.
Can I answer Jax's question?
Sure, if you want.
Yeah, Jax says, speaking of old, I recently tried to visit my first map ever in Neos, but couldn't find it anywhere. Is it possible any 2018 maps would somehow become incompatible with the present Neos? And no, that wouldn't be the case. We even have worlds inside of Neos that are back from like 2017 that are still inside of here, and wouldn't be sure how you lost access to that one world, but we
For
have
that one,
way to go.
For that one, he might want to make a ticket and like try to track that, because I know Medra in the past has lost some maps. Or sorry, GitHub. Sorry, Brain said the wrong thing. But make a GitHub issue with that, because I know in the past Medra has had some issues with maps. Just they either poofed or they just never came back or something. I remember like way back with the early Halloween maps, something like that happened. So maybe it's something like that.
I probably like need like some information, like if you like remember like the name of it or like any like any stuff. Like we do have like a audit log for like stuff like that, and we've had like cases like this, and from what we found like is that people just deleted them by accident. Probably clean up like bunch of like all like a bunch of stuff and just like they got deleted. But generally like I do have like worlds like that are like very early. They're like still stored like on Neos, like, and generally they work, so there shouldn't be like anything like they're like made incompatible.
There's one from like really early days, which is a sort of planetarium that has sort of spinning planets and all, and it's actually got some unpacked old logics, which is where this came from. This is a really old pack XYZ node before. This is what logics looked like back in the day, and it still works, right?
It got a bit corrupted because like the connectors actually had like the proper width, but
Yep, that still works. It just looks weird, and that's what it used to be called. You can go to that world. It does take a while to load, but then it's there. There's also really earlier versions of the hub where you can see what the hub looked like. So that's before we had the MTC, we had a hub, and you can take a look at those.
Some of those early hubs are interesting. They really were.
So,
but yeah, Jax, hopefully that answers your question at all. But do make a GitHub issue to try and resolve that.
So Fuzzy's question is, so download launcher and it uses the Steam's folder, correct?
it's separate.
No.
Okay. So no.
Yeah.
And then
for those questions, it may be better also to figure that out on the Discord if you can. So pop on over there and ask that, and people should be able to help out.
Yeah. And Curl says, will the Neo sign be able to use the already cached, I imagine they said chase, but I think they mean cached user data that was already from Steam session, or will that user data from the standalone be stored in a different folder?
So, okay. Go for it.
There's actually an important part of that is like that one concept like in Neos scene is that like you have like different channels, and like the channels they're sort of like they're pretty much like a combination of like which build to use with which like configuration. And the main channel that's gonna use we're gonna have it configured so it like uses the same folder. So like if you have it installed on Steam and installed from the main channel, that's gonna use the same cache and same like local data. But it actually came as a requirement from like like one of the business users is like where they need they were using the Neos Pro version and they're actually conflicting the data, so they need to be separate. So like there's gonna be some channels which specifically gonna say that by default use a different folder, so gonna keep them separate. You'll be able to configure it as well. So for example, you can install like you can have another like version of Neos installed and tell it like use a different folder. So it's gonna depend like which channel you use, and there will be also like channels that are created by community with like it's designed so like for example I don't know like Meta Movie, they can create like their own channel and they might want to like keep that cache and the asset data like separate like for like compatibility. So it's gonna have a lot more like flexibility in that area, but the default channel that's probably gonna be the same for like Steam and Neos scene.
I'm gonna take that next one. So Kura said that the second question they had on Neosine was answered by Fritz's explanation, so we'll skip that one. And we'll go on to, has it felt like Valve, blah, blah, blah. We have an official response to that one coming up soon. Stand by for further updates on that one. We won't be talking about that one on stream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stay tuned for the announcements in the Discord about information relating to that. The team will have a proper official announcement for that later on.
Yep. Yeah. Do keep those questions coming. We've still got some time. If you have any more questions, just go for it. Like any topics, we want to hear about your questions.
Actually, there was a question that we missed within the thing. Maybe you or Frix could answer this one. From Arky, if you can say, around how many companies/schools use Neos?
I don't think we have exact numbers.
Yeah, I don't have a quite exact count. I know it's a bit lower. Because generally they run into the issues, for example, the Neosine is actually a blocker for a lot of the companies because they do need some things there's not a handful, there's the PEG, there's the SHVR, those are pretty well known. There's another I don't know how many I can mention by name because there's another institute that uses it.
I figure. Tell us the ones that you can publicly say.
It's like I mentioned earlier, PEC, he's teaching at the Czech National Technical University. There's the Sydney human factors research, and those are really big users. I guess we can mention there's a company called OBB. They're using Neos. They're using Neos for company training. They train train connectors and so on. So
that's really cool.
Using Neos for that. There's actually that connection through there's a user, he goes by VRXist, and he's actually producing a lot of the businesses and so on, so this connection came through him. And there are a bunch of others where, for example, they used Neos for doing what's the word? They're actually using it for people in a city. They were voting on which bridge to build, and they actually made visualization inside of Neos, where you could switch between different versions.
I think I actually remember that world because I've met VRX. He's a really cool guy. That they were trying to do, I think, some sort of just a bid for a different type of bridges, and it was really cool to see them kind of visualize it and present it for people to check out in VR.
Yes. And there's a really big one is specifically in the Czech Republic. There's a company called VR Lab, and we actually have a sort of simplified version of Neos that's running on the Quest. It's called Neos Classroom. It's pretty much built around around the inventory, where you have lots of educational models, and you click on the model and it loads it, and if you have one already loaded, it just unloads that one. You can take the models apart, you can there's labels on them, you can snap them together. It has some quizzing and so on, and it's actually used, I think it's in about 15 schools so far. And pretty much a company, they're going to lots of different schools, and they're offering them this as an educational solution. So it's been pretty popular, especially during the COVID, because the schools, they would since it runs on Quest, they would give the Quest to students to take at home, and they would actually learn remotely through that. I don't know the exact schools, and they're kind of adding more as they kind of go.
No, I get you. But I think that's actually a pretty good number of examples for types of institutions that use Neos just for either educational purposes or for professional purposes.
Another one that's more in development, and it's pretty much where we're doing the projects Neos the Universe and the circuit simulation, and it's kind of a project that's kind of funded by the Ministry of Education over here, and the goal there is actually we are kind of co-developing a solution for VR. and the plan is because it's sort of like state-funded like project. They want to like apply it like globally in schools, so that way like it can actually get like a really
that'll be really
a
cool to see.
application, but
I can't
that
wait
is
to
still
see.
like ongoing.
That's awesome. I can't really wait to see that.
So we still have quite a bit of questions, a lot of them now from Earthmark, which are, I guess, kind of like funny questions. The first one is, what kind of fabric would you prefer to sit in? Let's just make this a quick answer.
Silk.
I mean, sure. Why not? Yeah, I'll say silk too. Tellian says, RE, the headless client, are there any plans to be able to send commands to your headless contact from within Neos rather than needing to use the console?
Interesting. Bot support in some way?
We don't want to have like a API for it, so like you can maybe like REST API so you can communicate with it, and
That'd be pretty cool.
yeah.
I don't know if we have
for the Geb.
Yeah, so I don't think we have an issue for that right now, so if you can, definitely make out that one.
Yeah, Tellian, get it on to and then our next...
I'll have to like jump off for a bit. I don't feel like super well. I'll be right back. Okay.
Oh,
that's
no
okay.
worries. You go for it.
Yeah,
Take
go
off.
ahead. We can handle these. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for...
I'll be back in a bit. I just need to go to the restroom.
Oh,
Yeah,
No worries.
yeah.
So
We
next
got it,
question
Fruits.
is from Earthmark. What is something you wish? Yeah,
I guess,
the Neos community
yes.
did more of.
Ooh, that's a good question. Next, what do you think? What do you wish the community did more?
Huh. I mean, I wouldn't even say I wish that they would build more, because honestly, I think that the community builds quite a lot.
They do.
From like what they do. Did more of stream their content. Stream what they're doing. I don't see that many streamers on for Neos.
More eyeballs?
Yeah, I just would say like people making like videos or video kind of content. I wish that people would do more of that in the community, but it's here and there, which is understandable. Sometimes you're just like, I'm not in the mood to kind of record something or show it off in that way, but it does help us out in a big way if you show off your content on your own channel, and people just like say, hey, yeah, I saw that video, or I saw that post on Twitter or Reddit or anywhere that's on social media to get the word out about Neos. And I also wish that they would constantly just tell any friends that they know that are interested in virtual reality to hop inside of Neos and check it out. Like, let your friends know about it. What about you, Turk?
Prime? Oh no, I was actually gonna pass to Prime and then take mine for the last.
Push these buttons and give us feedback. You want a feature, make a feature request. You want a bug report. Security, tell us. Moderation, if something happens, we want to know about it. We can help. We want to help. Anonymous feedback. If you're scared of giving feedback or you don't know where to put the feedback, go ahead, give us the anonymous feedback. Come to our office hours. We have lots of office hours going. We've got mine, which is just anything. We've got Chroma's, which is about design. We've got a sign in my face. There we go. We've got Veers, which is moderation. We've got Geens, which is graphics. We've even got that podcast where maybe you can come along and ask questions maybe about Neos's past. And then these streams, go ahead, drop questions in. We're here to listen, and in some cases I'm like, tell us what you need. If we don't know, we can't help.
No, and what Prime says is really true. But before I go on to what I think for this, because you don't understand how many times I see somebody tell Prime or Frooks or Nex or just anybody of the team, like, hey, we need this. Like, okay, make a GitHub, and like they just don't, and they just expect by telling them that it's gonna magically get solved. Like, even for like moderation, when people tell me about stuff too, it's like, make a ticket, please, make a ticket. I know I have robot parts, but I am not a full robot. I can't remember everything. I'm human, okay. But no, for me, what I thought the community did, something I wish. That's what I just wasn't expecting it. What is something that I wish that the community would do more of? Well, you mentioned streaming. Probably mentioned contacting the team in more proper ways. Just tell more people, host more events, just be more social where you guys can. Like, I've been seeing more events pop up recently for within the community, and honestly, it's been a godsend because it's really nice to see, like, there's more people out there just hosting and being social and just being a welcoming atmosphere for people. like even if you're not doing events, just like have groups of yourselves just kind of there to hang out and have fun. Like there's a bunch out there that I could list off, but I don't want to just kind of like name drop them on the stream. But it's like I want to see you guys communicate more. I want to see you guys hang out more. I want to see you guys do more. Have fun. Neos is cool. Go enjoy yourselves.
Yep, and just to answer these ones very quickly, Earthmark and Epic used to say how many polygons are the coffee table and how many polygons are the lamp. A few, not too many.
Enough.
Yeah, it's this small. They're optimized models. I don't know why you'd ask that.
Have you praised the lamp today?
Yeah, well, there we go. That's how we praised it. We shot it with the material tooltip.
Praise.
Turk can praise it though. There you go.
I will praise the lamp. I will be moth.
And then we have our other question here.
From Arky, would you consider adding the circuit simulation package to the main build and not just an add-on? I think it will come to the main build once it's ready, correct, Prime?
That one is held up. So we were using a library which provided circuit board and circuit simulation stuff, which was not permissively licensed, so we couldn't include it in the main build. We're looking at swapping to better's the wrong word, sorry. A differently licensed library which would allow us to include it in the main build. Same there goes for Neos' the universe. We're thinking about including that for an experience that you guys can visit and take a look at. Now it's finished, we're just sort of tidying it up for more general adoption. We try and do that wherever we can. Some cases we can't. For example, that bridge that Friggs talked about earlier, that bridge is now being built, right? You can't vote on it, sorry. It's being built.
Actually, Prime, you could probably take the next question from Earthmark too, in terms, because this is relating to stuff being added.
After you'll take a break from the chaos this month, what is the next thing you feel like will be worked on? Neoscene and our roadmap at GitHub for anything that is changing there. I know stuff that I want to look in might be there. If it is, I'll move it along on the roadmap there, but just keep taking a look at that roadmap.
Yeah, and just keep in mind, we'll answer the rest of these questions that are here, but I think it'll be good to like cut off questions in about like 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, for sure. From Mikey Wolf here, is there a certain kind of festival celebration you want to see in Neos in the future? I'm thinking of 4 ones I haven't been to IRL yet. Surprised me. Ooh, that is a really nice question, because there are some really nice foreign events, like international. Like I know Sakura viewing is a really popular thing over in Japan. I know in some European countries, New Year's is handled a little differently. So honestly, anything that people want to host and do, that'd be really cool. Just let people know, and people would really join in with it. Ooh, somebody mentioned Renaissance Festival in Neos. I'm for that.
I think it's Diwali at the moment, sort of around this sort of time. That'd be a really cool thing to see in VR. Sort of a festival of light and celebration. So there's lots we can do in VR for that.
Diwali?
Yeah, I think I've seen a lot of promotion on that. I might be wrong on the calendar there, but there's a few games on Steam that are on sale because of that.
Oh, would you mind explaining what Diwali is? Because even I don't know, so I feel like chat wouldn't mind.
I'm not educated. I just know when it's around. I hear about it in the news. I know it's about lights and stuff and like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and then the next question from Ashton. No talks about feet today. We did earlier. You missed it. And actually, a question from Easton, I think, actually is a bit of a flip from the earlier one of what would you like to see Neos do more of. What is one thing you think people in Neos should do less of? Next.
I don't know. I'll let Prime answer if he wants to.
Okay, cool. So I would like people to remember the abbreviation. Do less is to let's do more, isn't it? Okay, I would like people to just do less of sort of
That's a tricky one, isn't it?
In some cases, yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to phrase it in a sort of like do less because it leads into do more, and increasingly, like in some cases, less chaos. Like if you can like focus you'll learn things like logics and components better. So maybe if you're learning, maybe don't have so many people in the world. Maybe don't have so many people with builder permissions in the world. I see lots of times where a group of inspectors that you're working on turns into a group of people in those inspectors and in those logics nodes with you. Like consider reading the room. There we go, reading the room and making sure that you're doing the best possible way that you can do with your fellow people in the community and helping them out in the best way you can.
Yeah,
no, for sure.
I would say for the lesson, my part is, you know, what Renari also saying in chat: less drama and just more kindness. Just you know, speak good about others when they're not around, and you know, have not really any form of like drama in yourself of like thinking of things. You should just be having fun and enjoy the experience.
So. I agree. A little bit in the same vein as Unix, but for me, I think what people should do less Neos is I see this happen a lot where somebody gets really frustrated or they kind of get into like a bit of like a tangent. Try not to feed into each other's anxieties if you can, guys, because I've seen it happen multiple times. I know everyone's very passionate about the platform, but when people get stressed, take a breath, step away, give yourself some time to like kind of figure out what's going on and try to work on the problem or put positive effort to like when stuff kind of happens that makes you feel anxious. Because I know it happens to me. I know it happens to Prime, Next, everybody. It's a normal human thing.
I eat chicken when I get stressed.
Yeah.
Lots of protein.
Like when you guys get stressed and anxious, don't take it out on friends. Don't let it feed other friends' anxieties. Like be aware of what you're doing to everyone around you and just be mindful. That's all I can ask. But good question, Houston. Thank you. We actually got a comment in chat about what Diwali is. It's apparently the festival of lights and a major festival celebrated by Hindus, Jains, hopefully I'm saying that right, Sikhs, and Buddhists. That's cool. I didn't even know. I kind of want to look it up after the stream. Thank you for letting me know.
Oh, yeah.
Super.
I looked it up just a moment ago. It's mid-October to mid-November, and lights, lots of lights.
Don't answer.
Oh no!
Don't answer Rick's questions, cringe.
But it's such a good question.
No, it's not.
I'm going to take Lola Robot's question. This isn't a mask. This is my face.
Yeah,
I like masks.
That's their real face. IRL.
Masks are really cool because like it lets you show a lot in one face. Like say I don't use this face. Say like I get like a modified one. I could do that. So
I'll be honest with
really
you,
cool.
I kind of thought, I don't know why I had this thought inside of my head, but it would be interesting if in the farther future where Neos, you know, fully takes off and, you know, we're really well established as like a company and people know who we are. I thought it'd be really interesting to have like an IRL stream, but everyone looks as if they would be like the cosplay version of themselves, and probably Prime would just be having like his whole entire outfit, and we were able to find somebody like probably some sort of like pirate shop or something like that, and then just get that mask and they'd be wearing like a morph suit. I don't know why I thought that, but I was just like, yeah, that would be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Would you be up to that, Prime, if the day comes?
I have a bunch of bookmarks saved for various components. I've got 3D printers on the maybe on the way to book that. Can't make any promises. Can't make any promises, but maybe the next convention that Neos has a presence for. I almost did BLFC, but I was looking at the ingredients for that, and I couldn't get them all together in enough time. It's easy, right? It's just a fancy jacket and some trousers. It's easy.
It is. See, I feel like I'm stuck in a weird conundrum because it's like, all right, I have to wear like armor, and like I need like a really nice mask to wear that like can talk and do. Yeah, my cosplay is going to be a bit tricky. And to answer.
Tin cans, 2 tin cans,
no,
some LEDs.
Don't devalid. They're not tin cans. Don't do that to me. Oh. To answer Mikey's question, no, I'm not a plasma man. I'm a cyborg robot boy.
Yeah, hello. And we'll answer this one last question here from Renari. Real life Prime mask on the Neo Shop when that probably won't happen. That probably won't happen.
Yeah, that's up to Prime. That's his body. That's the lore. It's him. You can't sell Prime like that.
Yeah, he would be ending up like the Guy Fawkes mask. It's not.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to be like that.
But yeah, I think we're going to be rounding up on questions. Thank you everyone for coming to the monthly recap. It's been a pleasure having you all. Hopefully we informed you guys in a pretty good way today. And hopefully we answered some of your questions with a lot of the stuff that's been happening this month. If you guys have any more questions that we can't really answer here, please go to the Discord, please. And if the Discord can't really answer and you're worried about it in any way, please use the ways to contact the team, especially the anonymous feedback form. It is very, very good. The team looks at it, I think, like every month, and they get everything everybody says. Nobody knows who said anything. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're all good, next, I'll pass it off to you.
Yep. And we're actually just going to end off the stream, so we can say goodbye to the stream right now because
All right.
we covered our realm of information.
Alrighty. Well, thank you everyone for coming. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
And if you haven't already,
Race and
please
green
join
for
our
production in the
Discord,
background.
discord.gg/neosvr. And a big thank you again for everyone who's supported us out this week and the team for, us getting back up on Steam and getting that all issued and figured out. It has relieved a huge realm of anxiety for us here on the Neos team.
We're back on Steam. Woo!
Yeah, that we're back up. So thank you again, you guys, for giving us positive words and affirmation, because there was times when I came inside of public sessions, and people were just uplifting me and as well as uplifting others about how I was going to come back, and you guys are amazing.
The reaction on our Discord when we were all sat in voice was just insane.
Yeah.
I was screaming.
Yes. So see you guys. Have an amazing rest of your Friday or Saturday, depending on where you are in the world.
A great
Bye,
weekend,
everybody.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Enjoy your weekends.
Would we like to...
I'm having a look. I don't think there is anyone.
Let me check. No. Got anyone. I need to start asking people to be around for the end of the stream. The raid. Because people deserve the raids.
Yeah, absolutely. Bye, everyone.